Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna work on something that will be useful to lots of people. We're gonna do a peyote starter. Ironical part of this is to be able to do the peyote starter, you actually have to know how to do peyote. And my reasoning to actually making one is because I hate starting peyote. I love doing peyote and I've gotten into doing lots of patterns and I'm planning to continue to do more. And I don't want to be struggling starting peyote because it's always wonky, twisty and loose, and until you get like 5-6 rows it always doesn't look nice. So especially if you're a beginner or you do lots of peyote, this tool will be very useful. Now I've already made one. This one is 32 beads wide, so you only have to do it in even count peyote, and you can start odd count peyotes with this one, and I will show you how to do that later on in the tutorial. As you can see, I've used two contrasting colors. The reason for it is depending what kind of project you're doing and the colors you're using. If you are doing a project that starts with the black one, you can use the white side, or if you're using white project, you can use the black side. So this one I can use for any project up to 34 beads wide. So you don't have to do many of these, you can only do just one. Just make sure to make it wide enough for you to cover all your projects. So if you like doing peyotes, like, I don't know, 30 beads wide, 40 beads wide, make peyote starter as big as that. In this project, I'm just gonna do a small one just because I'm demonstrating it, and I'm gonna be using two contrasting colors. This time I'm using turquoise and like really light rosé. For this one, I used about 1 meter. I'm still gonna take about 1 meter today as well. And I'm gonna thread my needle. All these products you see here, they're just for demonstrating because I'll be using this to make the peyote starter, and I'm gonna use two different colors to show you how to start even count peyote on this and how to start odd count peyote. But in the description box, I will leave all the codes and links to the shop. So I'm just gonna stretch out my thread. I'm using Miyuki color 24. And I'm using my Miyuki needles. Since I started using this, I haven't used any other needles. And you know, you don't really need any other needles. So I'm just gonna thread my needle. And today I'm just gonna make peyote starter, let's say 14 beads wide. That will be enough to demonstrate it. Then you're gonna need your bead stop. And I like to go through the bead stop twice because then it won't move. Just make sure you don't pierce your thread while you're doing that. So 14 Delicas, I'm gonna drop it down, and excuse the state of my nails. I don't have much time to do that anymore nowadays. So we're just gonna do simple even count peyote. Pick up a bead, skip the first one, go through the next one. Pick up a bead, skip one, pick up the next one. And even watching this, you can tell starting peyote is no joke. So you only have to do it once, and then I'll show you later how to use it, and you'll see how easy it becomes to start peyote projects with this. Skip one bead, pick up the next one. Pick up a bead, skip one, go through the next one. Pick up a bead, skip one, pick up the next one. Pick up a bead, skip one, go through the next. Pick up a bead, skip one, pick up the last one. Flip it over. It's fairly easy to do a small peyote, but the wider you try to make, the wonkier it gets. And now all I do is just go through the sticky out beads. Flip it over, and you just continue. For this one, You just want to make it wide enough so it's easy to hold on to start your projects. For this one, I made 20 beads wide, so I made 10 rows of black, 10 rows of white, and that's what I'm gonna do here. I already have 4, so I'm gonna add 6 rows of turquoise and then 10 rows of pale pink. So here I finished my peyote starter, and all you have to do is just tie off the ends. And one point I want to mention, when you are tying off your ends, take your tail away from the ends. So because you'll be using the ends a lot and you don't want the tail of your peyote starter coming off. So all I'm gonna do is just take it away from the side. Then I'm gonna go down and up again, and then down again. I'm going to be using this peyote starter for years to come, so I don't want it to come apart. That's why I'm making sure to go up and down a couple times. Then down, down, and down. And here, carefully, I'm just gonna snip the tail. That's it. Do the same thing with this one. Now I want to show you how to use the peyote starter. First, I'm gonna show you how to use it with even count peyote. So first, I'm just gonna pick up the first bead of my project, and then see the side I'm using? I'm gonna go through the first sticky out bead. Pick up your second bead, go through the next sticky out bead. I'm just gonna do a small stretch, but it will be same for any size project. And then turn back. See how easy it is to start now? Go back. Just keep doing until you finish your project, or until you think you have long enough stretch to just remove the peyote starter. So I'm just gonna do a couple more rows. I'm loving this butterscotch color. It's pretty. See? So easy to start now. No wonky start, no wonky project, no twisted start. Just seamless. And I'll do one more row. So let's say I finished my project and then I want to remove this from my peyote starter and add a clasp if it's a bracelet. All I have to do is remove the stop bead. And look, just pull it slightly. I don't want to yank it off, so I'm just gonna go one thread at a time, because I don't want to damage my thread. And that's it. You have your peyote done. So this is how you would do even count peyote. Now I'm going to show you how to do odd count peyote. So I'm going to use this periwinkle color using the black one here. So again, pick up the first bead of your project, go through the first sticky out bead. So if you're doing odd count peyote, you can do it up to 33 beads. For bigger ones, you'll need a bigger peyote starter. So I'm just gonna do again a smaller version of peyote, but it will be same process for any width. I personally hate outcome peyote, but you can't avoid it because it's great for doing patterns and stuff because you have the center beads, especially if you want to do like chevrons and stuff. And I will be using this Peyote Starter in the next tutorial, where you will see how you can use this doing a outcome peyote pattern. So let's say this is the width of my outcome peyote. This is the last bead. So here what I do, I just pick up another stop bead, so it can be any bead whatsoever. I'm gonna take it back through that last bead of the Peyote Starter, and then I'm gonna go back through the last bead of my project, and then go and continue my project. Just when you're going through that last bead, make sure not to go through your stop bead. Go back. Now when you reach this side of the odd count, it's usually that wonky turn that everyone hates. So you just pick up your last bead, and here you want to go behind this last bead here. That way you're making sure to pick up both threads that are going up and down above this last bead, and then go back here. That's it. And then continue. From here, you're just pretty much doing the same thing. Going up and down, no odd turns. The only thing I need to show you later is how to remove this from your Peyote Starter. Now again, when you want to add last bead, take your needle through that bridge. And then back down through the last bead you added. So I'm gonna do a couple more rows. Again, this odd turn, all you do is just take your thread under that bridge and take your needle back down the last bead you added. Just don't pull your thread too hard in these corners. And you just do that until the end of your project. Pretty easy. So let's say you finished your bracelet, you want to remove it from your peyote starter. All you do is just remove this top bead, pull it slightly apart, and start removing that thread. One at a time. You can do it much faster, but I just don't want to damage my thread that I will be using in reality to add the clasp. So here, look at the last end there. All I'm gonna do, take this top bead at the end and pull it. And then just pull out the thread. And look. Your odd count peyote. Here, what you wanna do, where you remove that, I'm just gonna take my needle, thread this end tail. You want to take this thread back down this last bead and just pull it slightly, and that's it. Your odd count peyote. Easy peasy. So that's it, guys. That's why you would want to have a peyote starter. In the next tutorial, I'm going to be doing this Victorian gate bracelet, and as you can see, it has a peyote component, which is odd count peyote, and I'll be using a pattern. So in the tutorial, I will use this to show you how to do this following a pattern. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.